Starting lineup, uniforms, and apparel present the WOAA Senior AA Men's Hockey League podcast. Hello once again, everybody. Andrew Rogers here, the host of the WOAA Senior AA Men's Hockey League podcast. This is episode number 34. It's great to be back with you guys once again. It's an absolute pleasure to be back with you, and thank you very much for watching. I want to thank everyone who watched and tuned into the Gord Lamont podcast, episode 33 on Wednesday. It was just a phenomenal episode all around. It was great to chat with him. It was great talking with him. He's an absolutely outstanding individual, and just an absolute pleasure. But yes, a lot of things that we did talk about and bring up. One is this trivia challenge, which is going to be absolutely incredible. 64 people, one grand champion, one consolation champion, prizes for everyone. So it's just absolutely outstanding. Gord's made a challenge to you. It's part of the podcast. If you haven't seen it already, I'll clip that out and I'll put it up on the social media so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. But just an absolutely outstanding idea and concept that we have that we're putting in place. There'll be more details on it, so stay tuned for that. Gord's Imprints and Designs is going to be involved, as well as Mitch Scott of Starting Lineup Uniform and Apparel. He's going to get involved in that as well. So it's just going to be outstanding, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited about it for sure, but there'll be more details, so stay tuned for that. In terms of the podcast, this week's been great. We had Justin Shifty Graham and Andrew Boyle on Monday, and then we had Gord Lamont on Wednesday. In terms of next week, we have 3 guests confirmed for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. On Monday, we have Brady Anderson of the Minto 81s. He's coming into the podcast. That's on Monday. On Wednesday next week, Ben Pieluk, first-year head coach of the Elora Rocks. He's on the podcast. And then a week from today, we have Kyler and Cole Keating of the Petrolia Squires coming onto the podcast. It'll be great to talk with them as well. And then after that, we don't have any guests lined up right now because we're doing this. We're thinking about doing this trivia challenge. Like I said, more details will be on that coming up. Also mentioned on the last podcast, this Shaw Lake Crushers are holding their first annual golf tournament in support of the Crushers organization and the WOAA. They're already filled. The tournament is already filled, and they're taking waitlist applications. So make sure to get in on that wait list if that's possible. Make sure to check out all their social media. What I'm going to do now, though, is unveil my team, at least 3/4 of it, and we're going to start with the captain, the ringleader of this WOA podcast golf team for the Shaw Lake Crushers golf tournament. Not a ringer. He's just the captain, and that's myself. I'm going to be the captain, the one who's going to bring it all home in terms of bringing this W into the podcast team for the Shaw Lake Crushers golf tournament. It's just going to be absolutely an incredible day, and I'm honored to be not only a part of it, but supporting the Crushers organization and the WOA, and we're going to do a podcast special on it, so it's going to be awesome. The second member of our golf team, he really needs no introduction. He played a few years with the Shelburne Muskies. He is the creator and owner of Starting Lineup Uniform and Apparel. Mitch Scott is our second of our foursome for the golf tournament for the Shaw Lake Crushers. We do have a third already confirmed as well. He was a former goalie in this WOA Senior AA Men's League for the Tavistock Royals. He's a good friend of the show, and we're pleased to have him as our third for our golf tournament, for this golf tournament with Shaw Lake, and that is Rich Wigmore. He is our third. We still haven't found a fourth, not confirmed yet, but we will break that news to you once we have it. It's going to be an absolute phenomenal day, and that team is going to be unstoppable. So confidence is high in our group, no question about it. But again, on to today's episode of the podcast. It's a really good one. Episode number 34. Without further ado, we're going to introduce our guests now at this time. From the Shelburne Muskies, number 53, Colton MAGUIRE, and number 22, Brock HARE. So it's at this time I'd like to welcome in my guests on the podcast today, episode number 34. We got a couple of real beauties from the Shelburne Muskies organization. Up in my upper left-hand corner is number 53, rookie sensation Colton MAGUIRE on defense. And below, number 22, Brock HARE, power forward and big dude, big presence. And we welcome him to the podcast. Guys, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man. It's you know what? These podcasts are great because you get all kinds of different people from all different walks of life on here, and you know what I mean. It's great being able to connect with all of you guys, the great players of this league, the great ambassadors of our league, and representatives. So, like I say, it's just an absolute pleasure. First question I got to ask you guys. I ask everybody this off the hop. With COVID hitting, you know, and us being in the middle of a pandemic, we're kind of we're in phase 3 now. Things are starting to get a little bit better, but during the last few months, it's been treacherous, no doubt. I just wondered if you guys could give us an update on how you're doing. If you got, you know, if you've been working through this whole thing, just how things have been. Give us an update. Whoever can go first, take it off.
You can take it away there, Colt.
All right, yeah. First little bit was pretty boring, like just nothing to do at home. Couldn't work, so I coach for work, so there's no ice, no nothing.
Okay.
It's not bad now. I'm working regularly, getting on the ice like every day.
Good.
So it's not too bad now. Pretty much back to normal life for me anyways, but still sucks not getting to get out on the ice with the boys and have a skate and play some shinny. But other than that, it's been pretty much normal, back to normal anyways.
So everybody's still healthy? Everybody's good?
Yeah, I don't know anybody that's actually had it, so I've been lucky with that.
Good.
It's good.
Yeah, right on. Good. Brock, what's going on with you, man?
Yeah, it's been pretty boring to be honest, but I was only off for like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks
Okay.
maybe, and then we're right back at it again. It almost made work busier because we were behind that 2.5 weeks. So
Sure.
we've been going at it pretty good since then. And then yeah, obviously like the sports thing kind of sucks. I play a lot of baseball and like golf through the summer. Haven't really been able to do that a whole lot. So
Are you getting out golfing now though?
I think I've played 5 rounds maybe. I got to get a few practice rounds in here though, because I got a boys weekend coming up.
Well, there you go. There you go. Who's involved in that?
I think I might be the only guy from the team, honestly.
Okay.
Just a bunch of guys, yeah.
Right on.
Get any invites, so yeah.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. I was like the last pick to go on this trip too, so
No worries, buddy.
in there.
Hey, normally Cole, you'd be right up there in the picks, right? But it's just, you only can have 4, right? So.
Yeah.
So like, what would you guys be doing if things were like pre-pandemic? If they were completely normal, what would you be doing around this time to keep busy?
Honestly, like only difference for me is like I like to get on the ice like every day. Like I'll play shinny like 3 or 4 times a week. It sucks you can't do that now. So
where would you go?
I'm in Mississauga, so there's like
ice all the time.
Yeah, every day you could find like multiple shinnies to go out to. I'll just drop in. It's pretty fun.
How are things now? Like, because you're getting out now on the ice, aren't you?
Yeah, actually, like, so I work at a place that has like a small ice because rinks aren't open up. Rinks aren't still opening up here for a while, I think.
Okay.
So I work on like a small pad, so that hasn't been too bad. But I've gotten out on the ice a couple of times in Newmarket actually.
Okay.
So a little bit of a drive, but
like, are things weird there? Like, is it just kind of odd or?
It's a little bit weird because you got to get like half dressed in the parking lot. And
yeah, I've heard that.
Inside. Yeah, so that's weird, but other than that, it's just nice to be on the ice. So.
No doubt. What about you, Brock? What would you be doing nowadays for pre-pandemic?
Like I said, like I just play like men's slow pitch just to keep something to do during the week. So I'd do that one day a week.
Is that in Shelburne? You would do that?
Yeah, it's just like it's a beer league is what it is.
Right. Have you played in for a few years though?
Yeah, it was like probably 8 years,
wow.
9 years, yeah.
What position you play?
Buddy, I'm all over the place.
I'll bet.
These wheels, I can play 2 at once.
The wheels? Yeah, right.
Like on the ice too.
Yeah.
No, I like second base or short, so.
Okay. That's all right. And then do you hit it pretty good too?
Oh, buddy.
Home dingers all the time, right, buddy?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Other than that, yeah, like I work a lot in the summers because might as well work when the weather's nice, right? Like,
sure.
Try and get it in when you can.
No, I get that.
Make it easier to leave in the winter when you got to go to a hockey game.
No doubt.
You've done the hours in the summer, so there's that. And yeah, I don't know. There's golfing. Obviously, I try and get out a couple days a week doing that. And I'm not lucky like KOLTON there. I'm not near a city, so I don't really get much ice in the summertime.
No.
Oh, I've been golfing more than I've been playing. So.
How's your golf game, Colt?
It's getting better. Not the best, but it's getting better. So.
Which golf course do you hit out there?
All over the place. I've been in I think one Brampton, one Burlington, couple in Oakville.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting all over.
Well, I used to live out in the Burlington area, and I also used to live in Port Credit for a little while. So I played some golf courses out there. Is there a particular one that's your favorite, or?
Yeah, I just went to Lowville the other day in Oakville.
I played that. Really nice.
Yeah, the view you get on a couple holes is
it's outstanding.
Yeah, so it was awesome.
I believe I played a tournament out there once, and the tournament was sponsored, I think, by Community Living, I want to say. And one of the holes was a hole-in-one, and they had a car parked on the tee box, right? And I think it was the hole the par 3 where you go over the water. Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't know which number, but it's an unbelievable golf hole anyway.
Yeah, it's awesome, yeah.
Yeah, right on.
Colt goes in the water every time.
Yeah.
Well, but I bet you he aces the next one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
no, anytime I gotta admit, the par 3s with my golf games suck, man. I'm usually like a 5 or 6er every time. It sucks.
Yeah.
Just brutal. But the nice thing about it is, like, even with pandemic and no sports being on and all that sort of stuff, golf has been a big saving grace, I know, for a lot of people anyways, in terms of being able to get out. The weather's been nice, so that's been a huge blessing for sure. It'll be nice though when hockey gets back, though. I think we can all agree on that, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm waiting for this NHL thing to start. When's that? August 1st it starts?
August 1st. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
So, hey, who do you guys cheer for?
I'm a Flyers fan.
Of course.
God.
Oh my God.
I knew that was coming. So.
Well, you have to know, but that's the thing. You got to own it, right? I mean, that's the thing. If you're gonna be a fan of a team, you got to own it, and you got to stick by it, because you can't bandwagon jump, man. No one likes those.
Me and Little Richie, 2 Flyers fans. I sat beside Brandon in the room. Always talked about the Flyers. It was brutal.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And who do you cheer for then, Colton?
I'm a Leafs fan.
Yes. Okay. Thank God.
I like the Avs too.
Well, that's a nice second team. I got a buddy who's a big Colorado fan, and like he it was funny because he always tells me about how he got into them because he didn't have a team to cheer for, and then they come to Colorado from Quebec, and he jumped on board, and of course win the cup the first year there, and everyone's basically riding him for being an Avalanche fan. It's like, man, we didn't know any other Avalanche fans, so it's funny.
Yeah.
But no, definitely having hockey come back, that's going to be huge. In terms of the season, guys, let's talk about Shelburne. I mean, you guys had an unbelievable year, I thought, last year, finishing second place, 17-5, after finishing 9th the year before. Take me through the season. I mean, Colton, it was your first year in the league. What was your thoughts on it?
I had a blast. Like, I haven't played on too many winning teams.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, just from the start, like, we won our first game in OT, and then seemed from there we just kept rolling, and it was just a blast, like, coming to the rink, putting it all in, like, everybody showing up every night. It was just full team effort too, so, like, just the boys going every night. It was just awesome to be a part of.
Right on. Brock, what'd you think, man?
So this being my second year, I just saw a big difference in, like, mindset. There was a big change in mindset from my first year to this one. And, like, guys' commitment level was way up. Like, practices, we had way more guys.
Do you think that was a big driving factor in the overall success of your team?
I mean, yeah, like, when you can play with the same people and you can kind of play with your same line or your D partners there every week, you can kind of get used to it, right? Whereas you show up to a game and you only get the 15-minute warm-up with them, it's pretty hard to get coordinated, right?
Right. No, absolutely. I mean, the number of guys that I've had on this podcast that have said that exact thing, man. Like, commitment is everything in this league for a team to be successful. If you don't have it, you're going to struggle. If you only get a handful of guys out on a game night, you're going to get tuned, right? Like, it's just common knowledge.
I don't know. It's like a lot too. Like, when you have city guys like Colton and, like, they have a carload of them come from the city, but it's good because they all mesh well, and so they can ride together, which I think helps, like, motivate them to come to practice because they're not just going an hour drive like by themselves, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and like Colton, I got to tell you, man, being as like you're, from the city and you're a little ways away from Shelburne in terms of a drive, to be able to be there on any given, say, practice night or game night, that you're a shining example of guys that like can show that the commitment can be there. That this league is worth putting in that commitment for. Correct?
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time. Like, it's like, for me, I just love hockey, so there's no way I'm not doing that drive. Like, there's no way I'm missing a practice or game unless it's like absolutely have to. Like, just the love of the game that keeps me going out there. So in this league's the best for that. Like, coming out of junior, like, I didn't know what to expect, and it's just keeps that love of the game going. So
was it what you expected, or was there different things about it that maybe kind of threw you for a loop?
I didn't know what to expect at all, to be honest. Like, I had a couple friends that played in this league, and like, they said that it was good. They said that it was pretty quick. I was expecting it to be like a little bit rougher, a little bit just fights and huge hits, stuff like that. But I was surprised. Like, as we went on too, it was just a really quick game, really skilled players that I played against this year, and yeah, it was just a blast to be a part of too.
Well, and like for both of you guys, Brock being in your second year, Colton your first, like this league has gone through a massive overhaul in the time that it's been in existence for. I think everyone can echo that statement. Last year, one of the most competitively balanced seasons. You guys especially were right in it all season, up on that top four. Just kept flip-flopping. It was unbelievable to watch from a viewership perspective. But in the sense of from a player's perspective in that locker room, how interesting was it? Was there a lot of scoreboard watching? Was there a lot of, oh, man, I wonder where we're going to end up after the weekend?
I mean, I don't know. Hoagie would say, like, he would kind of break down the scenario of, like, if we win, we're going to finish here. If we whatever, he would do that. But at the end of the day, like, he would just kind of say, like, it's not really about that. Like, it's just finish as well as you can, right? Like, control what you can control, right?
Yeah. Well,
so,
I mean, that's the cool thing. Like, honestly, the other part about it is that on any given night, you didn't know which team was going to win. And I think that probably made the games much more exciting to play in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was the best. Like, we had games against Shallow Lake that those guys are a good team too, and they, like, last place this year. You wouldn't expect them to put up such a good game, like, but it's any team any night can win, and that's the best thing is you have to show up or you're not going to win, right? So,
well, every team definitely makes you earn it. I mean, especially Shelburne, because not only is the building tough to play in because it's maybe a bit smaller, but boy, do they make you earn every inch that when you're playing out there. Like, they got some big guys, they got some tough guys. I mean, Shallow Lake is primarily dominated by, farmland, so you get a lot of farm boys, big boys like Brock down here, and they can really make you earn your spot, no question about it.
Oh yeah.
In terms of and then Colton, I mean, the series against Minto in the playoffs, that 6-gamer, was just unreal. Especially for me, it was such a pleasure to be a part of it in the role that I was able to be a part of it in. Not only that, world-class organization, Shelburne, just got to say that as well. But that series was just unbelievable from a viewership perspective. What was it like to be a part of it from a player's perspective?
You taking this one, buddy, or me?
Either one, doesn't matter.
I was about 15 deep every home game that series. So
yeah, what it was like from the viewership perspective. But Colton played, man. And he was outstanding in that playoff series. I got to give it to you too. But
I'll say this: it was entertaining. It was super frustrating being up there, but
I bet
I knew the best guys were on the ice, so there's not much I can really say about it.
I get it.
It was really good hockey. I think we woke up a little late.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Push back, and I thought it could have been really, really good if we had moved on, because that was a really tough first series. So I think whoever pushed on through that had already been through one of the tougher series.
Well, and I mean, yeah, you speak to that. It doesn't help that you guys go down 2-0 right out of the first 2 games. I mean, if you guys split them, that's a whole nother series, man.
Yeah, no, it was like, that was probably one of the best series that I've ever played. Like,
oh yeah,
just every game back and forth. It was cool. Like, other than, like Brock said, those first 2 games we kind of came out slow. Minto was just flying in those first 2 games. But yeah, like after that, just back and forth hockey is so fun to be a part of. Like that's why I play the game. Like if you go out there and just dominate, like I don't find that too fun. Back and forth like that is the best. Like if we could go back and play that series again, I would 100 times.
Oh, it was so good, dude. It was so good. So, and then like obviously game 6 heartbreak, double overtime. And I mean, just like I say, especially for Shelburne, Heartbreak City. Like in a game, like have you ever been a part of that, Colton, where you played a double overtime game that's decided a series?
No, I can't say I ever have. Like I played in overtimes before, like season overtimes anyways, a lot in junior. Never, I don't even think I've ever played in a double overtime. So
was it taxing? Like did you feel exhausted by the end of it?
At that point, really, like no, like maybe after it ended, you realize like you're just gassed, but during it, like I was like, wouldn't mind going another one. Like,
oh wow, I don't know if I could.
More mentally draining than it is physical at that point. You're already past, like your adrenaline's going, right? So you're probably just mentally drained you're probably a little stressed there. But
yeah, exactly.
Did so were you in the building that night, Brock?
That one was in Palmy, right?
Yeah.
No, I didn't go to that one.
Okay. Yeah. But no, like, I mean, even like I say, from a fan's perspective, you can speak to this perfectly. I mean, like as a viewer, like how impressive was it to watch from your perspective?
It was like really, it just looked like a dogfight. Like every shift there was battles, right? Like, you didn't know which end of the ice you were going to be watching. Like it would be back and forth in one shift, up and down. Like I don't.
Is that what makes this league so great, Brock? Is the competitive balance between all the teams and all the players, like just how intense it is out there on the ice and how badly people want it?
Yeah, well, like I've heard you speak to it before, like how skilled some of these guys are. So one bad turnover can turn into a pretty quick play the other way, right? So yeah, it is making this league great that all these young talented guys are coming in because it makes for a fast-paced game, like young guys like Colton.
Right. Colton, you could speak to that. I mean, being a mobile guy, like you're a mobile defenseman, you're not a stay-at-home defenseman. Like you go up against these guys that are coming down on you too, and they're coming 100 miles an hour. Like that's got to be pretty. Like that's got to have the competitive juices just flowing at that point.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like I said, it's like any team, right? Like you could play shallow. Like they have unreal guys out there. Alora's got talented guys near the bottom, teams near the bottom. Like any night there's a skilled guy coming down on you, and it always keeps you on your toes. Like there's no, like, coming out of junior, you play like the last place team, probably pumping them like 10-1, 10-2, like not really caring, not really getting into the game. But if you're first place in this league and playing a last bottom 2, bottom 3 team, like still have to be ready, still have to be ready to play. So that's the best part about this league, I think.
And then obviously playing for Shelburne, I mean, again, world-class organization there. Like and the other guys from Shelburne that I've talked to have said great things about people like Barry Trude, people like Mike Clark, and Kerry Young, and Tyler Hogan did an unbelievable job as a coach. Like, how cool was it to be a part of the Muskies organization?
It's been really cool for me because I remember going when I was a little kid. So like I've been watching since I was like 5 or 6 years old. I'd be going to those games. I was one of those rugrats running around the hallway there. But,
that are doing it now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty special to put that jersey on. I'm pretty lucky to be able to do that. Obviously, I'm not one of the younger skilled guys, so I appreciate it every time I get to play in that lineup.
No doubt.
Like you were saying, our whole executive and board are just phenomenal. Carrie and Pam, Barry's awesome. There's a whole list. Hoagie, Marshall, everybody that commits. A big one for me is Doc.
Yeah.
And that guy, he puts the time in. He comes to practice just to adjust people's backs for them, and then there he is every game. He even comes to away games, so that's huge.
Yeah. No, it's definitely important. Colton, what did it mean for you to be a part of it?
Yeah, the same thing. Like I've never been a part of a team that's like from the top down is just like the best people. Like from the executives, like Carrie and Pam are the best people you'll ever meet. Like
Oh yeah.
even like going to games and like so my girlfriend went to pretty much every game and pretty much like best friends with them at the games. Like they make you feel so welcome, make everybody feel so welcome, and
Definitely.
like that was huge for me coming from Mississauga too. Like wasn't sure how to feel, like how it fit in and stuff like that. But yeah, like Barry, Carrie, Pam, all our coaches, like it was just the best. Like they just know how to make you feel at home, make you fit in, and like I feel like I'm a part of the community in Shelburne too. So
That's cool, man. That's really neat. I like hearing stuff like that. When it comes to this league, Colton and Brock, I mean, you've been here for a couple of years. When it like, if you were to put out some sort of like an ad pitch to any new guys that were thinking about getting into this league, what would you say to them? What would your sales pitch be?
I mean, most of the guys that aren't playing, it's because they don't like the commitment. So, I mean, you have to be competitive still. You want to be able, like, you want to win a hockey game. You're not going out there for drinking your 4 beers before the game, going out and shooting puck around and getting off the ice, right? You got to still have that competitive drive. Obviously, we have a good time after the games. It's always a fun time. Practices are usually pretty good. You just have to be, like, you want to be passionate, right? That's the whole reason that all of us are doing this.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself, man.
Yeah, like none of us are getting paid, obviously, right? So
you do it because you love the game.
Yeah, you got to work a 9 to 5 or 8 to 6 in my case, and then rush to the game, barely eat a dinner, and then get on the ice. So right. you wouldn't do that if you didn't love the game, right?
No doubt. Colton, what about you, man? What would you say to them?
Yeah, you guys put it well. Like, if you love hockey and you love like just to be competitive, then there's no reason not to go in this league. Like for whatever reason you're not playing pro or because of your job, because of whatever is holding you back here, like it's the best thing. The best thing for any competitive hockey player, I think, 'cause it's the best league for you. So you get to stay at home, work, right? So
no doubt. Brock, did you play any sort of like organized hockey before you joined Shelburne?
Buddy, I took a hard layoff. I think the last competitive hockey I played was like minor. Like it was like
that long, eh?
I can't even remember. I think it was like Bantam or maybe midget. Like it was a long time ago. Went through some financial stuff, so I wasn't able to play.
Sure.
And then I just picked it back up again in beer leagues from like age 17 on, and then decided to come in for a tryout.
So then who do you owe your Shelburne hockey career to then? Who got you involved in that?
Like the Muskies, you mean?
Yeah, like, you know, who brought you in?
Like all of my buddies were playing, and so I was going to the games every week anyway.
Right.
So then when tryouts came up next year, I just I'm like thinking, I go to the games anyways. So
right. In terms of like one thing I do often like to ask any people that come on here is for fond hockey memories of their childhood growing up, and if you guys had any of those that you wouldn't mind sharing with us. Colt, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Like I said, until Shelburne, I haven't been a part of too many winning teams, so a lot of good memories came out of this year. But just good memories from tournaments, I guess. Those are the best times. Away tournaments. Always a good one I had was going up to Nottawasaga, playing there. Seemed like we always won those, so that was fun there. Anything in the States was fun, playing mini sticks in the hotels, stuff like that.
Cool, like, man.
Those are the best memories for me, just traveling with the team.
That's awesome. What about you, Brock? Do you have any fun hockey memories of your childhood?
Like nothing real specific. It's mainly just like tournament stuff. Like real generic. I mean, everybody loved going to the tournaments as kids. You get that mini stick game going in the hallway, and I was always a big part of that. So
right on. If you guys had to pay homage to somebody who would say like really be the inspiration behind your hockey career and why you even started playing hockey even from a young age, who would you say was your biggest hockey influence?
I mean, obviously, like at a young age, it's your parents that get you out there and they start you. Like I said, I took a break there from it. So just getting back to skating in beer leagues or whatever was because I wanted to play hockey again. And then to come out and try and play muskies, I'm going to give that credit to like Richie and a few of the boys on the team.
Nice.
Yeah, like I said, I was at the games anyways, and they said I should come try out. So I did.
Right on. What about you, Colton? Who do you owe your hockey success to?
Yeah, obviously classic answer. Just my parents for sure. They've supported me since I started hockey when I was 3. So like right from then, driving me to every practice, every game. I know I played out a year in Pittsburgh. I played junior down there, and my dad would drive me to games there. So that was like just always the commitment from them too, even more than me sometimes. So if I wasn't committed, they always were. So that's what kept me going.
That's really cool, man. Very cool. Colton, you had so you played. If I'm reading this correct, you played for the Toronto Predators, right? Before you joined Shelburne.
Yeah.
You put up an impressive season. The numbers are accurate here: 52 points in 41 games, 19 goals. Have you always been very offensively minded in terms of the defenseman role?
No, actually. So there was the Predators, and then the year before that, I was a forward, and I wasn't an offensive forward either. So back from then until the start of my hockey career, probably as a forward, and yeah, just always a defensive forward actually. Like wouldn't go up, like wouldn't get too many rushes, wouldn't score too many goals, but I would always be back, first guy back, throwing a lot of hits, just being that defensive forward. And then when I switched to D, actually, I became a lot more offensive minded. So it was kind of weird in that way, but worked out, I guess.
Now you're the last guy getting back.
Exactly.
Weird
how it works.
Colton, who did you play alongside with this year most of the time?
The whole year, didn't play a game with anybody other than Trevor
Van Alstine.
Yeah,
So he wore number 7 for those of you who don't know. What was it like playing alongside him?
I could sit here and chirp him the whole podcast, and he'd probably enjoy that. But,
I probably would.
Yeah. But yeah, he was. I think he's definitely one of the reasons I had a pretty good year in Shelburne. Like, just probably the best D I've ever played with.
Awesome, man. I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
Yeah, it'll pump his head a little bit too much though. So, but yeah, like allowed me to go up and rush because he's just such a good not stay at home D, but he's such a good D, two-way D going forward and coming back. So gave me confidence to go up anytime I wanted. So
right.
And he helped me get into the league too. He would be giving me advice all season. So
nice.
Yeah, huge shout out to him for that. He's awesome all year.
Right on, man. That's really cool that you can have somebody that you play alongside that can teach you the ropes and really be a nice role model in this league. That's a great thing about this league is that you know a young guy like yourself, an older guy like Trev, and that he can take you under his wing and really guide you through how this league works. So that's pretty awesome, man. Good for you. Brock, in terms of the Richardson brothers, Luke and Brandon, like unbelievable hockey players. Luke was unbelievable. His stats would indicate that. How impressive were they to watch this year?
Honestly, I was a little worried about Brandon coming in.
Why do you say that?
Well, he had a bit of a reputation of being a hothead and like running around, being a bit of a nut. But I was really impressed with the way he changed his game this year.
Right on.
Still playing that role of being like a big, hard-hitting, competitive guy, but not having like the dumb penalty stuff come in.
Sure.
I took that over from him, so it was all good.
Yeah, you had your fair share, buddy. I was really impressed with Brandon, and then Richie's like year in, year out. You always know what you're getting with him, right? Like, he's going to be one of your best players, if not the best player on your team. He's a big, strong guy. He can play like anywhere in the ice, and he's not afraid to lay people out or drop the mitts either. I think Palmerston saw that this year.
They did, yeah. No, that was good. That was a good tilt there between between Luke and Colin Harwick. I think Luke fought Colin Harwick.
Yeah, elbows.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Anyways, guys, I want to ask you too. Last player I want to touch on is Edward Davey because he was unbelievable for you guys this year. Colton, I want to start with you because as a defenseman, you got to be confident in the goalie who's behind you, and Eddie was unreal.
Oh yeah, and like to speak to Eddie, like makes it so easy to play D. Like just knowing that you could keep everything to the outside and nothing's getting in on him from unless they have a backdoor pass, and he might still get that. Like I've seen him get some backdoor passes, diving right across, but yeah, makes it easy, just confident in how good he is. And right, like I said, like just keeping everything to the outside and you're good. It's the easiest thing. But not only him, like Ryan Mansell and Malcolm Young too, just
unbelievable
amazing goalies. Like we were so lucky this year to have all three of those guys. Like whatever game it was, they're not getting any easy goals on us. So
no doubt. Brock, do you got anything that you want to add to that?
No, just knowing Eddie like the last couple of years, he's a great teammate. I don't know,
Absolutely.
he's a goalie, so he's definitely quirky, but
he's a great dude though.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's good.
Just got engaged too, so so he's awesome. He's just a fantastic dude. Seriously though, guys, like you guys, top to bottom, your organization was one of the best that I got treated by this past year, and that was unreal. I mean, we played you guys 8 times, so that was really a pleasure for me. We're going to wrap this podcast up, but I'll give it to you guys to say any last words before we sign off. So whoever wants to start, go ahead.
I just wanted to thank you, man. You're doing so much for this league. Like, not just cool just being on this podcast and, like, listening to them. I listen to a lot of them, so
thanks, man.
Not just cool with that, but you're bringing so much attention to the league. I think every team will be thanking you when they get more fans next year. Everybody paying attention to this league more. So, yeah, it's just what you're doing is great, man. Keep it up.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Brock, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll follow up with that. You're awesome, buddy. It's good to see somebody doing this kind of stuff. So glad you're doing it and stepping up, especially through these boring times, right? So we need something to listen.
I got nothing but time, Brocky.
Yeah, I know, don't we all?
But no, honestly, guys, like just so that you guys know, like I do it for you guys, the players, the ambassadors of this league. You're such good ambassadors for this league, and you deserve all the recognition and all the exposure that I can get for you. So any part that I could play in that, I'm going to do that for you guys. It's at this time that I'd like to thank my guests on today's episode of the podcast, number 34. From the Shelburne Muskies, number 53, Colton McGuire, up in my left-hand corner here, and number 22, Brock Hare down below. Guys, thanks a lot for doing this. You're welcome back anytime. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
Once again, I want to thank Colton McGuire and Brock Hare for coming on to the podcast today. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with them, and they're welcome back anytime. Just phenomenal individuals and great ambassadors of this game. I want to thank Mitch Scott of Starting Lineup, Uniform and Apparel, for being the presented sponsor. On Monday, we have Brady Anderson of the Minto 81s coming onto the podcast, so make sure to check out for that. I am Andrew Rogers, the host, thanking you, the viewer, for watching once again another episode of the WOAA Senior AA Men's Hockey League podcast. Until Monday, we will see you then. Have a nice weekend. Stay safe.